Humiliation of the Wimbledon line judges who lost their jobs to robots. How ex-officials are now glorified butlers who take players to the toilet and open cans of balls after being replaced by AI tech. Their job now is to fondle balls. Isn't that just funny? A former Wimbledon line judge has shed light on the grim new reality facing her ex-colleagues who she labeled butlers following the introduction of electronic technology in SW19. The All England Tennis Club officially replaced the iconic line judges who have been a constant presence at the Grand Slam for 184 or 148 years with automated technology. Yeah, this is what's called progress, right? I mean, dude, how many centuries did humans use horses and buggies before the car replaced that? Yeah, it's not really a good argument. Oh, but it's always been done that way. Yeah, there's that one fake motivational poster that is one of the best quotes ever. Just because it's always been done that way doesn't mean it's not incredibly stupid. However, its first foray into the SW19 competition has come under heavy fire with British stars Jack Draper and Emma Raducanu among players that have called out the tech for incorrect decisions that they are unable to challenge or overrule. That's what the cameras are supposed to be for as well. Yeah, so are they just mad that they can't argue with the machine? You can't you can't tell the machine you want to speak to its manager. A high-profile blunder was revealed that the electronic system was turned off during a critical game. So, is this the equivalent of a human line judge being asleep at the time? Oh shit! Sorry, I didn't see what was going on. I was taking a nap. A critical game in the Sonia Kartal's third-round match against Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, prompting the Russian to allege that the game had been stolen from her. I think that she might have a point there. Like, if the judge was basically asleep, yeah, I think at that point, fuck the ruling. Let's pull out a video camera and see exactly what happened and use the actual evidence. Because that is some bullshit if the machine was just turned off. Another embarrassing turn for an automated line judge called fault during a quarterfinal game between Taylor Fritz and Karen Kachanov after mistaking an in-play move from the American for his service motion. But while the robots have taken over the All England Lawn Tennis Club, a handful of human line judges remain in a greatly reduced role of match assistants. Yeah, they're basically the chaperones that take the players to the bathroom, yeah, and then wait there with one of those wet hand towels or something, yeah. Other responsibilities now include accompanying players to the toilet. What did I say? And opening tubes of fresh balls, as well as appearing at sponsorship opportunities with brand partners like Ralph Lauren. Pauline Irie, a former line judge who officiated a slew of high-profile matches at the Grand Slam between 1988 and current year -12, told Mail Sport that the decision was in danger of seriously harming the game. Now you've got two match assistants on each court, which is why the center court and number one court, and they're still sitting in the old service line position. It looks as though they're calling the line, but they're not. They're there to assist the umpire with the ball changes and opening cans of ball and supervising the ball kids who don't need it because they're amazing. Yeah, we don't need micromanagers here. And they take the players to the toilet because when if a player needs a toilet break, they have to have an official go with them because they're not allowed to receive treatment. So somebody accompanies them for that and makes sure that they are coming back on time because it's timed. That's basically it. Oh yeah, we will make sure you're not cheating while you're in the bathroom. Oh, so do they have to like stand in the stall with you? Like if one of these players had to take a dump, do one of these glorified butlers have to like get in the stall with you to watch the whole time? Like, sorry, champ, we got to make sure you're not shooting up performance enhancers while you're in here. Them's the breaks. It was an extremely skilled job. Now it's very nice because they still get to be involved with it, not using their extraordinary skills anymore. Hey, as long as the pay is the same, but the work is a lot less, I think a lot of people wouldn't complain about that. Instead, Irie adds that they're little more than glorified butlers. I always thought that those uniforms are more like costumes. I found them a little bit clownish myself. That's a very personal view, but they were great fun. It was a great, and they were great a bit of sponsorship. And that seems to be all they are now. They're just this visual. Isn't it fun to have people dressed this way? Oh, so they're rodeo clowns. Except the rodeo clowns actually serve a purpose to distract the bull in case something goes out of control. They got a reason to be there. There's a little bit of sponsorship for Ralph Lauren. They're there to look like this terribly old-fashioned idea of a butler who's just there to do a bit of serving, as it were, as opposed to hardworking professionals with a huge skill. Well, you still have the skill; it's just not really needed anymore, I guess. It took a lot. Took a lot of experience and skill to be selected for center court. Are you sure? You sure it wasn't just politics? You sure it wasn't someone just pulling rank and seniority? I mean, that's often what it is. Let's be honest. Like, more often than not, that's how a lot of these selections go. As an enormous honor and an enormous achievement to be selected for separate finals and have that special day because you earned it. Ira remains close to a number of her former colleagues currently working in the championship, sharing that some are just happy to be there, but for others, the experience is more challenging. It's more challenging because now they have to look busy while the robot does all the work. I could see that being a problem. Others are finding it, quite frankly, boring and sort of feeling at a loss of all their colleagues as well. So instead of a great bustling atmosphere of 300 people and meeting up with old friends, just a small number of people. I feel very sad about it. I find it frustrating. There's a microcosm of a bigger problem. We are very good at we're very good at going with new technology. And we're very good at looking at how we might do that. But we're not very good at doing what we're not good at doing and why we do that and whether it's better for us as a culture. Yeah, this is all just fucking fart sniffing nonsense right there. You could choose not to, but none of your opponents will do the same thing. So you're just going to get left behind and your culture is going to disappear. Yeah, but what's actually happening is AI is taking our jobs, so we can't afford any leisure time. Is taking our skills away, is dumbing us down. Yeah, no one complained about about automation putting blue collar workers out of work, but AI doing to white collar what automation did to blue collar. Now it's the end of the world, huh? Well, learn to weld, bitch. Although robots are starting to do that too. And without line judges, Ari says, familiar faces of Wimbledon look almost photoshopped. Is there something missing in traditional images the public is used to? A move away from the recognizable hand motions of officials to declare to declare a shot out. Oh yeah, towards flashing signs as deployed at Queens last month is worryingly naff looking. Oh, okay, then how about you have someone there just to give the signals as the robot tells them? So they're going to be taking orders from the robot. That would be fucking hilarious. Like, not only did the robot take your job, but the robot is now your boss. It was promoted above you. Yeah, you are now below the burger making machine. The burger making machine is your supervisor. I don't think I should be laughing because that's probably going to happen if it hasn't already in some places. But it is a funny thought. I mean, I don't care who you are. That's funny right there. We can make everything perfect. Oh, we can't make everything perfect. There's no such thing. If you remove the human out of the equation, there could be. But it's just not going to be very exciting. And B, that takes the humanity at us all. And because the sport is about people, I stress is, well, not many people are watching these sports anymore, though. That's why I'm sad you've taken away jobs from 250, 300 people and dumbed down the jobs of 80 more and taken away something that's really lovely about Wimbledon and really lovely about US Open and the Australian Open. Concerning too is what that means for the technical aspect of the sport and what happens when, as spectators have seen in the tournament this week, machines fail. I think this is being blown out of proportion. They're acting like human judges never make bad calls. You know what's going to happen when the machines fail and make a bad call? Literally the same thing that happens when human judges fail and make a bad call. That is not going to change. When you do have physical line judges, they won't be as hot as they were because they're not there all the time. By the time I got to Wimbledon, my third or fourth week of the grass court season, I was really on the game because I'd done Queens, I'd done Wimbledon qualies, and I was ready to go. If you bring the line judges because the tech screws up, those line judges haven't called the lines before for 4 weeks, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, eventually they won't be as sharp. Less sharp than the machines. So, yeah, they're going to be the machine's bitch. Despite the negative attention electronic line calling has rained down on this year's Wimbledon, Ira has no doubt the technology, despite her wishes, is set to stay in place. But for Ira, the tournament's decision to move away from the tradition has come at an irreparable cost. It's really sad the machine can't get down from the umpire's chair and go to check on Grigor Dimitrov when he's crying on the court. No, that's what the glorified butlers are for. And then they walk him to the bathroom and then get in the stall with him to make sure that he doesn't shoot up substances, allegedly. I signed the tragic injury the Bulgarian suffered during his last 16 clash with the world number one, Yannick Sinner. Replace umpires if you like. Replace everybody with machines. It won't make tennis better. It'll definitely be impoverished for it because we need people. Yeah, people aren't really watching tennis as much anymore. Yeah, that's why God invented slow motion cameras. Yeah, that's literally all you need. Just have slow motion cameras along every line. And if there's ever any conflict, consult the slow motion camera and you'll have your answer. Like, I could understand not wanting to do that for everything because it would slow down the pace of the game. So if it's really obvious and no one challenges the decision, fine, keep going as normal. But if it was a close call, there's nothing wrong with taking an extra like 10 seconds to consult the camera, especially if it'll make or break the whole fucking tournament.